Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Sunday. So as promised, I'm going to go over DMG, do a deep dive on them. First we'll look at the company, we'll look at the stock information that we have, and then we'll look at the data that I got going through all of their reports and everything else. So hopefully everything matches up with possibly what you guys have. So here's DMG, a vertically integrated blockchain and cryptocurrency company. DMG has a couple of things that they're doing. So they have the Blockseer software platform, they have the data center operations, and then they also have their forensic consulting. This one makes very little for them. The software in Q1, I believe in this year, had pretty good numbers on it. They didn't have any numbers for it on Q2. We're still waiting on Q3 results. And then obviously the data center operations is their hosting and now their own mining of Bitcoin. So if we look at their operations here really quick, I thought this was kind of cool. A couple pictures here that they got of their operations. So this is DMG's Christina Lake data center in one of Canada's largest single crypto mining facilities. It's got 80 megawatts of power, and you can see the facility here. So obviously a lot of transformers powering the inside of this computing network space. So kind of cool there. Okay, so we know about them. They're currently listed on the Canadian Stock Exchange and on the over-the-counter, I believe it is, exchange as well. So let's take a look at that. So here's DMGGF under ticker symbol DMGGF. They are now at 76 cents roughly. I was looking for their Q3 report, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So they haven't posted it yet, I'm guessing. So let's take a look at some analysis. So analysis, we have one strong buy on it right now, or actually a buy, sorry about that. And the price target is $1.56. They're currently at 76 cents. So somebody's thinking that they're underweight. And if we look at their chart history here, we got them at 135 as the peak here in the past 6 weeks or so. 4 weeks actually, if we look at it. This is the daily chart. Yeah. So about 2 weeks ago, they were at 135. Obviously, they've come way down to 76. So that's almost a 50% drop, just like all the other miners have dropped recently, with Bitcoin dropping as well. We'll do a video on Bitcoin here next after this one. We'll talk about Bitcoin, what's going on there. But as you can see, everything has been falling down. They did have a nice spike here and everything else. So let's take a look at the information here. Institutions, some bad news on the institutions part of it. They had a 0.29% change here from Horizons ETF Management Canada. They got out, it looks like, last reported on 10/31. Harvest Portfolios Group also sold about 2.15% of their shares. Then we had Vidant buy a little bit, and Venek Asset Management bought 31% of their shares. Venek Associates sold 26% of their shares, so now they have the following how much they own left. So they got 15.15%, 0.039, 0.89, 0.15, and 0.36% on that. So that wasn't obviously very good news. Let's take a look at what else can we find here. Financials, like we said, there's nothing new going on for them. Some news, they did report that they're buying some more miners recently, which I have in my sheet as well. Don't have any short interest. Corporate actions, let's see if there's any insider trading. No insider trading since, looks like June, which is good. ETF weighting, so it is in Verdi Clean Energy Crypto, I'm guessing, ETF, and Blockchain Technologies ETF. So those are the weighing, how much it has, each ETF has of DMG. And then order flow, don't have any data on order flow as well. So that's where the stock is right now. So let's take a look at the numbers for them. So here's all the information that I have on them compiled. So this took me a little bit longer than I thought. Was going through it when I had time, obviously recording video, was going to work and everything else. So it took me a little bit longer than I wanted. I wanted to get this out to you guys relatively quickly. But they did report recently that they are going to have here in Q4, they're expecting to be at 400 petahash by the end of December. So if we look at the numbers here, here's the numbers for Q1 and Q2. So Q1, they basically made 2.4, almost 2.5 million in revenue. And then in Q2, they were at 1.6, 1.7 roughly. And they had revenue of 1.6 million from hosting in Q1, 38,000 from forensics, and then 625,000 from software licensing, I'm guessing that was. So we got those numbers in Q2. They reported hosting was only 1.2 million, forensics was 9.9, software was basically 0. So here's what I had them basically mining those 2 months, or those 2 quarters. So basically I had the Antminer S19s that they reported that they bought or got part of the DMG, because they were called something else. I can't remember what they were actually called before they acquired DMG. But they had the miners, so I basically put those in at 3 months for 3 months here. And that was their total for mining in Q1, which was 168,000 on the S19 miners here. They had like maybe 320 that I'm calculating based on what they actually earned from mining. And then we look at Q2, same thing. They had 3 months of the Antminer S9s mining, and then they also bought some more of the M30s from, trying to think, are those what's miners? Those might be it. And they were basically generating 317,000 for them, and those were running for roughly 2 months to get to where the total revenue was about 1.697 million for the quarter. And this is also all in Canadian dollars. Since they reported Canadian dollars, and I change it over to US dollars here. Then, as things progress, we finally got some more news from March 22nd, April 19th, April 26th. I can't remember, I have this one wrong. This was later on after April 26th. It was a couple of days, a couple of weeks later. July 14th and November 13th, we got reports on them buying miners. So they bought some 750 miners here that were unknown. They sold some of the miners as well, so I'm not sure exactly how much they have of these. But these down here, the April 19s, certain that they have ordered those were 3,600 of these. On April 26th here, they first reported getting 1,600 of the S19J Pros, and then they reported again buying another 1,800, I believe, on these here. Yeah, and these were 1,800. And then the one on July 14th, they reported 2,450, but they didn't provide as far as when those are going to be at least delivered. If you have information on that, please let me know, and then obviously update this to reflect that. Now, on November 30th, they announced another, was it 1,800? Nope, 3,600 miners going to be installed of the S19 XPs. Those are the 140,000 terahash miners. So those are all in play. We do know, based on the information, so that totals to be, that equals, for the exahash, 1.5 exahash, and about 15,370 miners. They did report on the November 30th announcement here that they're going to have, I believe it was going to be all of these miners from Antminer, which was 9,450, and then they were going to have a total of 13,800 roughly of the other miners. So I'm thinking these miners are either getting sold off or they're not being accounted for. I have to figure this out. This was a little confusing. They don't have the information that's very accurate or detailed as far as what's going on. They did provide that they sold some of these M30s to Hive back early on this year. They didn't provide which ones were getting sold off, so it's kind of hard to figure out. But based on that, we know that they're going to be at 400 petahash by the end of Q4. So I have them at, right now, mining these miners here. So we got, these basically are going to be installed here, right? So that gives us part of it. Here's the other part of it here as well. And then we obviously have these here mining to get us to close to the 400 petahash that they reported. I have them right now at 389, which is really close based on this information. So there might be some other ones that are getting installed or have already gotten installed. Just don't know. But this is as close to accurate as I could get it. So I got all of these miners here mining for 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. And then same here, 3 months, 2 and 1 month. And then we're going down here, 3, 3, 2, and 1, based on when they were supposed to come in, which was August, September, October, November, through the end of, or through the middle of next year. Same with these here and these as well. Okay, a lot of numbers here, guys. Obviously, take a look at it. Let me know what you guys think of it. If there's anything that I'm missing, obviously let me know. I could have made a mistake. I'm only human on this part here. So based on the information that I do have, I'm still waiting for the Q3 numbers. I have the Q3 numbers at roughly 7.8 million. I left the hosting and forensics the same as it was in Q2. Could be off, could be more, could be less. I just don't know. So using a margin of error of maybe 5-10% on this to get into 7.8 million. That would be in USD 6.245 million. And then based on the information that we have for the fourth quarter, they're going to be at 400 petahash by the end of the month here of December. I have them basically at 12.2 million Canadian, and then it'll be 9.5 million in USD. Okay, a lot of information. So let's take a look at the stock. So obviously their stock price is right now at 76 cents. Shares outstanding as reported by Microsoft right now is 166.9 million. Market cap is 163,636,000. And then, so total estimated gross revenue right now for the first 3 quarters, and which the third quarter is estimated along with the current estimate for the fourth quarter. I have them at roughly being 24 million for the year. Obviously this could be a little bit off, maybe by 5-10% if that, depending on where the third quarter comes in. We'll update that once we get the numbers. So, but they're way behind on reporting, and they've had problems also with, that's the other thing that kind of got me. I saw a bunch of reports where they had problems with their auditors, where auditors were coming in, auditors were leaving. It's like you can't figure out or get a good auditor to audit your numbers and everything. And it was just driving me nuts a little bit. Okay. So based on the information that we do have, so here's the current BTC price based on the latest numbers here. So that's 48,000 for Bitcoin price, and then that's being calculated by multiplying or getting it to the Canadian version of it, right? So I hope I have that right. Y3 times settings B28. Let's take a look at that. I want to make sure I got this right, because that seems a little off. Seems B28. Yep. Okay. So I got that right. So let's go back to it. So that's Canadian Bitcoin price right now. So we're using those numbers here. So we have it in both versions. We have it in Canadian, and then we have it in USD as well. So Canadian quarter, basically, if Bitcoin stays at where it's at, 62 million Canadian, it goes up to 128 million Canadian, or gosh, I wish it was in millions. 62,000 Canadian, 128,000 Canadian, 192 Canadian, and 256,000 Canadian, which will be equivalent to USD and 100,000, 150,000, 200,000. We're looking at a stock price, and as always, I'm very conservative on this, so I'm using the price to earnings multiple of 20. Obviously, some of the miners get a lot better price to earnings multiples based on investors. I guess you could say hopium or benefit of the doubt, that some of them are getting like 30, 40 price to earnings multiple. I'm using just a regular 20. Obviously, also some miners are below that, so take it for what it's worth. So 50% net income on revenue. We're looking at a stock price of 73 Canadian. Right now it is at 76. So that is really, really close to where I have them. And then if we're looking at a 75% net income on revenue with the price earnings multiple of 20, we're looking at a $1.09 price. So it looks to me either the stock is well valued at their current, I don't know what their net income is or what the percentage of net income is compared to their revenues. So it could be either very well priced right now, or it's a little bit undervalued, basically, if we use the 75%. So if we go to Bitcoin increases 2x, you're looking at basically 222 and 333, and then 297 and 446, and 372 and 558. That is if Bitcoin obviously goes to these values here. And everything stays the same. Nothing changes for Q3. Well, Q3 is going to change in this. Once we get the results, that's going to change, obviously. So we'll update this information when that comes in. But obviously, Q4 is the one that's fluid right now. That's the one that's going to change based on the price of Bitcoin, basically. So it could go up, it could go down, and then obviously all these numbers here would change as well based on that. But in USD dollars, so we're looking at basically having it at 58 cents. Oh, which this is, sorry guys. This is in USD dollars. So based on that information, if we take that, oh, I forgot to do this. I knew I was forgetting something here. This times settings times this equals, so it's a Canadian, so basically $1.28. Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I believe that's where it's standing right now. Based on that information, looking at this, it is currently a little bit overvalued based on this information if we look at just these numbers here. If that is correct, I have to look into this. This Canadian and USD thing is always confusing me. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. And then if we look at it here, just on the USD, 76 cents. I have them at 58 cents to 87 cents, so pretty well within my range of where I think it's pretty well valued. It might be a little bit overvalued here. If we look at the 50% and then at this, it looks like it's overvalued. But if we look at the 75%, it looks like it's undervalued, right now. And obviously Bitcoin goes up to 100,000. We're looking at 2.7 and 311, 150,000, 282, 423, 357, and 536. So there you have it. I mean, a lot of information, obviously, and it always takes me a while to get all this stuff out. I wish they were a little bit more transparent with all of their information. They do provide, as far as recently at least, they provided that how many miners they have from Bitmain. They didn't provide all the miners that they have, or what their total hash rate is going to be, other than they're going to be at 400 petahash installed by the end of the month. So right now, it looks like they are a little bit undervalued to me, but everything has gone way down. Bitcoin has gone down. It just all depends. If Bitcoin goes up and they stay a little bit underneath that, they're going to be undervalued basically by it. So just wanted to provide that to you guys information. Obviously, they are one of the smaller miners. I think DigiHost is another one that's pretty small, if I remember correctly here on my numbers here. DigiHost has, what are they at? They are right now at 415 petahash. So pretty close to what we have for DMG. So they're about the same in size right now. So they're one of the smaller ones. Obviously, the other guys are like 3 exahash and 2 and 1.5 exahash are a lot further along than Digi and DMG. So let me know what you guys thought of all this, and then we'll comment down in the sections. I can't speak. We'll comment down in the sections below. I'll usually, after I upload a video, I usually stick around for about an hour or so and reply to comments. So if you guys like this video, I know I rambled on a lot. I'm tired. Leave a comment down below. Let me know you liked it. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you like this information. And I got a couple more videos I'm working on right now for Bitcoin and actually what I'm buying with this sale that we have right now. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.